to the Builure Pulse, your go-to destination for all things Salesforce. I'm your host, Inshu Mishra, founder and director at Builure with more than 30 years of experience within the Salesforce ecosystem. Join us as we explore a day in the life of Salesforce professionals. From Salesforce DevOps architects to CRM analytics specialists, we'll uncover the insights, challenges, and triumphs that define their daily experiences. So get ready for engaging conversations, expert insights, and actionable advice to boost your Salesforce journey. Whether you're looking to advance your career, streamline your processes, or simply stay ahead of the curve, join us on this exciting exploration of the Salesforce ecosystem. Let's get started with today's episode, focusing on a former Salesforce trainer. We have one of our Builure ambassadors, Tarun Gupta, with us here today, and we're so thankful to him for sharing his journey with us. Without much delay, let's talk about him. Welcome, Tarun. Please introduce yourself and let us know your journey from the very beginning within the Salesforce ecosystem and your experience, particularly your experience as a Salesforce trainer.
Hi, thanks for giving me the platform to share my experience and the things. So I have a 13 plus year experience in the IT backgrounds. I started my career as a front-end developer, then back-end, then full stack development. Then last 4 years, I'm working in the Salesforce ecosystem. So basically, as a trainer, and I have a hardcore programmer. So right now I'm holding the 3 to 4 roles. I also support company to building a communities and group leaders for a technical consultant and running my own company, Vimash. So we have a Salesforce and IT things. And as a Salesforce channel, I provide the many companies in the multiple locations, in person and virtually. So there's a small brief. I provide the CPQ no code platform as well as the backend support to be like the integration part in Salesforce. So last 3 years, I'm providing the corporate trainings and the one-to-one in-person training as well for the company. They want to be enhancement the skill set to their employee. Also with DevOps, especially as a release manager.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that. So, would you be able to walk us through a typical day in your role working as a Salesforce trainer? What you actually used to do, some key tasks or responsibilities that you would like to highlight?
As a Salesforce trainer, I just need to be preparation for the TOC. Some clients they want to be corporate training, they don't have a TOC, means the topic of content. So I need to prepare some specific content. So they want to be focused on the time. So majorly I prepare the documentation, review the documentation, and for the one-to-one support after the training, so I need to be planning as per the trainings. So like you're answering the question after the session, provide the guidance to all the participants as well as navigate through the Salesforce and offer one-to-one support if some kind of technical things they are facing the issue before the next meetings and collect some feedback is major part every the end of the training.
You mentioned about like staying updated, refreshing your skills and staying on top of everything. So my next question is about that. How do you stay updated on the latest Salesforce updates? And how do you communicate the best practices or you bring best practices in practice to ensure that you are leveraging the platform to its fullest potential?
As a Salesforce trainer, I need to be updated myself to the latest feature, latest release. Every quarterly Salesforce release many updates. Sometime it will be happening the between the training sessions. So one of the scenario, I give this training session to be in the time, and after the trainings are done, so some questions are coming on the release. They not ask the today's session of contents. So when I prepare the content, so if my session in between the Salesforce release the time, so I just cover one by one, pointed out there the release notes to what they have done, how to update myself. So I used to be active in the Salesforce communities, user groups, events as well, and also official Salesforce resource and some kind of partner resource as well. I also guided to people to after this release, it may be changed. Some kind of like recently have some kind of SOQL things recently launched in 24. So have some kind of features in the LWC admin part, no code platform. So it
Mm.
will depend for the release notes. I used to complete the release notes in the Trailhead modules. So I pick the content from that part. Yes, this is a
Mm.
release because they have
Yeah.
some kind of hands-on practice.
That's a really good practice going through the details and then sharing it with your trainees to make them understand where you are getting that information from. So that's a really good way of doing that. Do you have any resources other than Trailhead? Do you also go through any other platforms? Would you like to share anything with us?
Yeah, anything.
Mm.
In the
Mm.
Salesforce release, I used to suggest to go in the official Salesforce YouTube channel. They have
Mm.
lots of good content in an
Mm.
easy way in a limited time. Because they deliver the specific content of the core. So in the
Mm.
Salesforce official channel, have a
Mm.
particularly for 10-second video, you can watch how to use the flow. It's perfect there.
That's great.
It's my personal things. 2 minutes video is sufficient to be explain
Mm.
any sort of release notes. If you want to
Yeah.
say the release notes, so it's
Mm.
22 minutes is sufficient to be show the updated release note. That's things.
You raised a really good point here that it's all about time management. So
Yeah.
instead of spending 40 minutes watching some YouTube channel that is not relevant to you, you can just like go to the specific elements of it on the Salesforce official YouTube channel and you'll get to learn about those specific skill sets and those specific features that you want to explore in very short span of time. So that's a really good point that you just raised over here. Would you like to share any challenges that you came across and how did you resolve those challenges?
If as a
Mhm.
trainer, I give the trainings. So
Mm.
that time I also will face some issue on the
Mm.
third party tools. So
Yeah.
that that we need to be raise the case because I need
Mm.
to deliver the content. So it's take a
Yes.
3 time, 3 days, 4 days. So I hold the
Yeah.
on the time because some kind of
Yeah.
command objection will be happening. A Salesforce
Mm.
next release will be happening. So what
Mm.
we have in my corporate in the Caparo and
Mm.
in anything like Salesforce, Sales Cloud, or Service Cloud, new changes are done by the Salesforce
Mm.
release. So
Mm.
after Salesforce release, Caparo will be updated our next release and
Mm.
that time we just know needed to be upgrade
Mm.
what older version of the API in the
Mm.
sandboxes. Now your
Mm.
projection all get different API version. So how you
Mm.
deploy the changes in the next org. So there's a small things like both challenging on the keeping platform changes.
Yeah, and it's really important that you actually verify what you're going to deliver the next day. And you should practice it before going to the audience so that you understand the intricacies. Because sometimes we're delivering the training, we're not using the production or we're using the developer edition. And a few things are not available over this. It's a really good practice that we practice it on our Trailhead playground or developer editions before we go and deliver the training. So yeah, thanks. And moving on to our next question, is there any other tool or apps within Salesforce that you think are really good or should be used by everyone?
I use a Slack channel, like in the
Yeah.
Salesforce for integration
Mhm.
like Slack sales elevator. And
Yeah.
recently Slack will be launching the Slack AI tools for
Yeah.
the all the clouds like Slack
Mm.
sales, service, and marketing cloud as well. I use for the all the communication, collaboration, and also be management all the meetings and the things we can use. It's an easy tool. So
Okay.
that's the Slack channel. Yeah.
We also use Slack and it's an amazing tool. So if you're not using Slack, you can start using it. Tarun uses it and Tarun highly recommend it. So you can start using Slack.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So moving on to our next section about certifications. So Salesforce has a number of certifications available. Would you be able to share your certification journey and how it has impacted your career?
Initially, when I'm working on the Salesforce platform,
Mm.
I'm not focused on the certification that time. So I
Mm.
spent 1.5 year without any certification because in this company they have
Yeah.
introduced Salesforce and I
Mm.
used to work on the Salesforce platform. So I just focus on the learning part and doing the
Mm.
hands-on work because on the time we don't have too much time to be give the certification time because before the COVID that I started a career in the Salesforce. So that time, I don't be focused on the Salesforce certification. But firstly, I failed every exam when I given the Salesforce admin. First time I failed. When I give
Mm.
the PD1, I again
Mm.
failed. And
Mhm.
after then experience cloud, I again failed. So I must
Oh,
pass the first attempt. So first, in the July 2021, I gave my
Mm,
admin exam. So that
mm,
time I not much about how to give the exam online. So when I prepared the Salesforce admin, so when I needed to know much more details,
mm,
because
mm,
certification, why is certification important? Because if you're prepared for the certification exam, so
mm,
that time you much more detail about the
yeah,
content of the admin. Because
yeah,
if you're working any company, you have a some specific task. You have done this
yeah,
kind of things only. But
mm,
in a Salesforce admin, having many things. If I not aware, appear in the Salesforce admin exam, didn't prepare the
mm,
Salesforce admin exam, so I don't not I didn't aware this features
mm,
in the Salesforce
mm,
admin. So that
mm,
time I had yes, I told to him, yes, we can do this. So I
mm,
go through the again these modules in the Tailhead and watch it the whole video and that try to be implement in the my
mm,
project. Same in the
mm,
expense cloud, having many things are there. With the
mm,
Salesforce release are there also. So Salesforce
mm,
is not for showcase, it's just showing your
mm,
credentials, how much you are
mm,
aware, and also be showing a dedication to be continuous learning. If
mm,
when you pay the exam, your self assessment, how much you are
mm.
aware, that's for about the certification things.
It's so brave of you sharing your journey of failing the certifications at first. And it's not about passing or failing the certification. Like you said, it's more about like when you're working on a project, you don't get across all the skills that are required to pass a certification exam, which is entirely different because you don't come across those things when you're working on a project. But when you're preparing for an exam, for getting certified to answer the particular questions, and for that, you need to do the extensive reading, extensive studying, and extensive following up on all the release notes and have a proper learning curriculum to actually pass the exam. Thanks for sharing your journey.
Yeah,
It actually inspires people. It actually tells people that even if you fail, you just need to be resilient in order to pass the certification exam in your next go.
yeah.
So,
Recently, I failed again the Slack consulting exam. So I
uh,
watch it again.
and you'll definitely pass it in your next go.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
and
actually, in any examination, so that the main challenge is that when I noticed that when I fail, because it
mm,
Salesforce release it will be happening, so some
yeah,
new update question are coming there. So I
yeah,
didn't know about the release notes, like release things are
mm,
happening. Course will
mm,
be updated the timing. So that's
yeah,
also be updated before the examination. You will be
mm,
aware any release will
mm,
be in the timing or not. If release
mm,
in timing, so you should need to learn latest
mm,
release notes as well, because
mm.
those some questions are coming on the latest release as well.
Thanks for sharing your certification journey. We all are discussing about AI these days. Like everywhere you see, people are talking about AI. So, from your perspective, what trends do you see on the horizon for Salesforce professionals? And what advice would you like to give to people who want to enter the ecosystem or who would like to be Salesforce trainers?
Yeah. So as well, I don't deny it, I didn't use the AI because if I survive in the coming era of the IT
Mm,
background, so I
mm,
should need to be learn more in the prompt engineering. I'm not telling to everyone to go and complete the prompt engineering, but
mm,
in the coming era, everyone should know how to use the Chat GPT. Everyone should know how to use the prompt engineering because in the
mm,
future, if you want to stay in your job, in your career,
mm,
you should know about ChatGPT because some people are faster than you. If I not using the ChatGPT right now, so I can't handle much more things in the single time. Running
yeah,
the company
yes.
and working company, other things. So
Mm,
for the prompt engineering, you should know about the ChatGPT, how to use.
mm,
Only this thing,
mm,
how to use,
mm,
how to prompt the and for a proper way. I just have an example. Previously, when I started my career, so we are focusing as a IT as a programmer. So we have a trick to use the Google
mm,
to search our query in the Stack Overflow, yeah,
mm,
anywhere. The same thing in the AI. I used to command what with
mm,
like in the Google. I used to search. If I give some tips, if you want to search in the Google, so use
mm,
the plus symbol.
mm,
What plus is the caparo? So you just proper find out the answer on the Google search. Same thing in the prompt engineering. They're using the guide a scene how to build them for the fintech company. Yeah, like artificial intelligence will be integrated. So that time we need to aware about how to use the prompt engineering, prompt commands thing.
What is your advice that you want to give to our viewers or listeners who want to enter in the Salesforce ecosystem or would like to transition their role, transition into being a Salesforce trainer?
Yeah. So firstly, when I face some kind of questions from the attendees for when I give the one-to-one session regarding the Salesforce, some people are thinking two kind of people are in the market. First thing, focus on the higher paying amount in the Salesforce. Second person want to be how I can achieve this target. So they have a focusing on the how to get a job. Some people are transferring from the different technology to different technology. They want to growth in the salary. My personal the thing is firstly identify what you are good in the programming. So you can go. If you are not good in the programming, salary will be increased after your experience, not initially. If your admin imperfect, so go in the admin level, like many tools are CPQ, most of admin. Yeah, in the flow, you can go in the flow, admin, CPQ, Omniscape. So, firstly, go set the goals. What your roles, what your agenda, yeah, what your main purpose to getting job. Three kind of agenda. If you are transferring your journey to Salesforce, so why you are transferring? Only for the rumor कि Salesforce have a lots of jobs. Want to love the culture of Salesforce. Yeah, you want to be enhancement your thing. So first identify because every technology have many things. When I choose a Salesforce because I used to work on the JavaScript, it's easy to be working on the MuleSoft, easy to working on the marketing cloud, easy to working on the Omniscript. If someone are new in the come in the Salesforce ecosystem, I also will suggest to those people, firstly, focus on the learning part, then building your profile stronger, add the credentials. Like some people are every third year of student, they have a 3x certification.
So we should be focusing on deciding our why. Why do we want to do what we want to do?
Why and
And
how?
then, and how. Then comes the next thing, how. So first you need to decide why you want to do that, set your goals. And as Tarun mentioned, just identify your strengths or your weaknesses. And that will get you, beyond the sky. Sky is the limit.
Yes.
So that's a good advice. Would you like to share anything with our viewers or listeners?
Firstly, is brand it as a skill set, then personal branding. Because if you've done the personal branding, then the skill set are still going on. So let's focus on the learning part first. If you want to be DevOps in the next era, you want to be if you are just started the learning in the Salesforce, just learn about the Salesforce AI tools with the generative AI and the Einstein data cloud. Everyone can learn. If you spend 6 months in the Salesforce, you can become an expert in the Salesforce. If you're doing the by heart, main
Yeah,
method.
that's great. That's a
Yeah.
great advice. Like, if you can't attend the training, just start talking to the people and
Yeah.
learn from their experiences. And
Sometime, yeah.
sometimes what happens is we learn more by just talking instead of attending a training session because human brain can't be productive all the time. Thanks for chatting with us, Tarun. It was a great conversation.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning into the Builure Pulse. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation as much as I did. If you found value in today's episode, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving us a review on your preferred platform. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners like you. Follow us on our socials for more resources and updates on upcoming episodes. Remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Join us on social media, join the community to continue the discussion and connect with fellow Salesforce enthusiasts. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing in the world of Salesforce. Thank you for listening.